Alexx Mayo began as an artist exploring the facial structure through drawings and painting. He's become one of the country's renowned makeup artists, working with such celebrities as Lizzo, Victoria Justice, and Sweet Tea. This New Mexico native is here to talk about his journey and his love of the art. So, thank you for taking time out to do this interview today. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, if you could start by telling us a little bit about what it was like growing up in New Mexico.
I'm so proud to be from New Mexico, born and raised. I grew up, or actually, I was born in Albuquerque and I moved to Los Lunas actually when I was a kid. So, growing up for me in New Mexico, I loved being submerged in the culture and the colors and the landscapes. I think that early on as a child, I really paid attention to painting and coloring the mountains and the sunsets. There's nothing like a New Mexico sunset. So, but life was pretty simple. I came from, a lower class family. We didn't have much, but, I was surrounded by love and my creativity was always nourished and praised upon. So I feel very lucky that I was able to be such an expressive kid. I think that I was always into art, of course, New Mexico being one of the art capitals of the country, that I was always around that. So I think that that always really played a part in my future.
I think some folks think that if you're in a creative field that you could do everything creatively. Was it a challenge switching from the canvas to the face?
My cousin actually was really into charcoal and pastels and doing portraiture. So that's really kind of where I got my start in kind of playing around with that medium and sort of creating these, canvases in a two-dimensional form. So transitioning that into the face, I think is very, very different. I think that when you're working on something 3D, there's different aspects that you have, but also you can still use the same sort of rules that apply to a canvas that apply to the face. So I think that once I started realizing that depth and shade and tone and kind of adjusting colors, I think that that's really where I kind of thought about applying that to the face and actually using that in a beauty form.
Needless to say, we've been excited over here watching you grow in your career. And I mean, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way so we can get back to what you have coming up. But I mean, you have worked with a lot of different artists, particularly Lizzo is one of your latest clients, and we got to see you in her latest documentary. What has that experience been like, and what is it like working with her?
I mean, it's been a whirlwind. I think that I started working with her almost 6 years ago now. So I feel like we were all on this rocket together. And, 2019 was really a big year for her and her song, going to number one, Truth Hurts. And since then, it's just been this wild ride beyond any of our imaginations. We are such close friends behind besides being one of my clients. She's one of my closest friends. I think that we share a very special relationship. I think that we really respect and care for each other. I think that on the road and traveling and doing that sort of stuff, we'd be able to have our own bond and we have fun in the process. I think that, like you mentioned before in the documentary, you'll see us dancing and singing pretty much a majority of the time behind the scenes. So it's been such a blast and such a dream come true. It's really beyond my wildest dreams.
Do you remember the moment that you thought to yourself, wow, I really made it in this industry?
I feel like I have been so grateful to have a lot of those moments. I still feel that way, like, wow, I have those points. But I think that if I can think of the first time where I really felt like this is real, like I've made it, I think that seeing my work in Times Square, on those huge LED screens is something that really blew my mind. Coming from, I lived in Los Lunas, I grew up in a dirt road. So to go from that to seeing my work in,
Absolutely.
the mecca of advertisement in the world it was really amazing.
Thank you for taking time to talk with us today. My last question, and you're still young, so please don't look at this as any kind of like I'm not done yet. But what would you like your legacy to be?
That is such an interesting and amazing question at the same time. I think that one of the biggest things that I would love to have my legacy to be by and something that a few people have already told me is that I would just love to be able to open up people's minds to the idea of more, and not even necessarily in beauty. I think that we limit ourselves to what we can wear, where we can go, what sort of dreams we can have. We put a limit to ourselves on what we have based on our current circumstances. But I think that my message is really that I am living proof that dreams come true and you can get to anywhere you want to go to. So if I can leave that bit of inspiration behind for even one person, I think that I've done my job.
That's a wonderful legacy to leave. Alex, thank you again for talking with us. And we're going to continue watching your growth and just congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure, and I'm so happy to be speaking to my hometown, my home state. So thank you all for your support, and stay tuned.